Amazing race. How sweet diversity is.
Where have you been?
Father, I have been at church.
Femson, we've been over this. Praying to God to strike your penis off, it just won't work.
Aha! That's so funny, Dad. You know, I asked God if they were a social justice warrior, and you know what? She said yes.
I have asked you to come to church with me hundreds of times, and you always say no. So what on earth has changed?
Well, I don't usually like church, and that's because
It's a safe haven for white heteronormativity.
it's a safe haven for white heteronormativity.
And it exploits the poor and promotes their God as a white man when in fact he's a person of color, which is just another example of whitewashing and white privilege.
And it exploits the poor and promotes their God as a white man, when in fact she was a person of color, which is just another example of whitewashing and white privilege.
So what changed?
I found a new church, a woke church, a progressive church.
A church full of liberals? What do they drink communion with soy milk and preach that Trump is the Antichrist?
No.
Well, this sounds kind of interesting. Maybe I'll attend next week's service.
Yeah, sorry Dad, I don't think so. You're a little too white.
And you aren't?
Well, they prefer that white privilege be cast out where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. So I went to the tanning salon, just got a little tan, nothing extreme, so that I could kind of get into the church.
So in order to even get into this church, you have to do blackface? That doesn't sound very progressive, Femson.
Get behind me, Satan! Hey there everyone, it's Hunter Avalone here, and welcome to a brand new video. I'm proud to announce this video is sponsored by Virtual Shield VPN. And before you ask, yes, it's free. Virtual Shield is currently giving away a free trial, and this month, Virtual Shield will be giving away a 1-year free subscription to their flagship product, IdentiSafe, for customers who choose to purchase an annual membership for their VPN. Now, for those who don't know, a VPN changes your IP address, making it nearly impossible for hackers or the government to accurately track you. Take a look. Here's my IP address without Virtual Shield. Now I turn Virtual Shield on and select Paris. My IP address is now changed in a matter of seconds. This is the easiest, safest, and fastest VPN to use for the common internet user available on the market. So help support me and my channel by heading over to virtualshield.com/hunter and download one of the best VPNs and get IdentiSafe, the ability to block off your computer, mic, or camera from any potential threats for free. That's virtualshield.com/hunter. I use it, and so should you. Welcome back, everyone, to Liberals Ruin Everything, the fun, laid-back show where we talk about the many things that liberals have destroyed as soon as they get their hands on them. Today, believe it or not, it's church. You know that place you go every Sunday morning, or if you're like me, never, because you got food poisoning from a stale cracker during communion? You thought I was going to say something a lot more offensive there, didn't you? But nonetheless, many liberals follow progressivism as their religion. So it's really no surprise that we're seeing progressive churches popping up everywhere. Today we will be reacting to a new progressive church brought to my attention from the horrible news source Now This. Or as I like to say, now this is gay. I'm not even religious myself, but believe me, this progressive church is absolutely worth the response. We are in for some serious cringe. Wow. 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 Donating to Planned Parenthood. How very Christian of you. Isn't there another religious group that is pro-abortion? What is it? Oh, right. Satanists. But this is definitely a very progressive take on religion. I mean, what kind of Christian songs do you teach your children? Aborting.
What would it look like to be a church that looked like the movement that Jesus started?
I really don't think it would look like a newsboy hat wearing hipster. I mean, this guy looks like he preached to me about marijuana not the things of God.
And not like church that we know in America today. Out of that consistent questioning came this model for a brewery church that generates funds for local charities.
Of course it's in California.
We are open and affirming LGBTQ. We are feminist, and I believe Jesus was too.
Yeah, I really hate to break it to you, but no perfect God would be for that demonic movement that is modern-day feminism. In fact, Genesis 3, verse 15 says, "I will make you and the woman hate each other." Sounds to me like feminism is literally a curse from God.
We are environmentalists, which I believe that's the original mandate of the children of God, to take care of the planet that we all know and enjoy. We are anti-war, which I believe Jesus was too. We are all for racial justice, which Jesus was a Palestinian Jewish rabbi. He was a person of color that was killed by white supremacy. So we're usually making every effort to be on the front lines for racial justice.
Well, when God closes a door, he tends to open a window for me to jump out of. Never have I seen such blatant twisting of something to fit one's agenda. Jesus did not die for this. Jesus was not killed by white supremacy. The reason Jesus was crucified was because he was accused of blasphemy. The Roman Empire was not even racist at the time. The idea of race and identity didn't even exist yet. The Roman Empire was much more nationalist. Black people were not excluded from any profession, and there was usually no stigma or bias against mixed race relationships in antiquity. So the idea that Jesus was killed by white supremacy is literally ludicrous.
So that's what sets us apart from many American churches.
I would seriously love to go to this church for just one sermon, just to see how it would be. It'd be like dinner and a show. You sit down, you order your vegan food, you're waiting to hear a really good sermon. They serve you your fucking pine cone with ranch dressing. Pastor takes a huge bong rip, gets up on stage, and next thing you know, you're going all over the progressive Bible. I'm talking numbers of times Trump was racist, 1st and 2nd Queens, 1st and 2nd Chronicles of a transgender. They skip the book of Job, however. The word reminds them of something they don't have.
We said, hey, why can't we do a brewery, and then we can use the space on Sunday before it opens to the public as a worship space?
Why do I feel like this idea was the result of being at a brewery a little too long, buddy boy? But seriously, I get they're trying to do good, and I can even appreciate some of this. I mean, before I go to church, I usually like to get plastered. That's about the only time it starts to make sense to me. But really, do you have to put your progressive take on everything? Most Christians are against abortion. I'm not even a Christian, and I'm against abortion based solely on the science of the matter. I mean, you may be able to build a little community of self-hating queers, but I seriously doubt this church will appeal to any devout religious people.
And then we can use the funds to give to local charities that people of all faiths, all sexual, all racial, and even all faith identities can support. So we came up with this model, and we found an awesome spot. Consequently, happens to be right below Planned Parenthood.
So did you purposely place your church over the bowels of hell?
In Santa Cruz, which we adore and support their efforts for giving health care to women.
Imagine some old lady is attending your church and she asks the pastor, she's like, "What are my tithes being used for?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just going to fund stuff like this."
The Diversity Center supports our LGBTQIAAA community, and if you notice, that acronym is growing.
Believe me, when God hears shit like this, he regrets ever raising from the dead.
This is not a gimmick at all to grow a huge, Six Flags over Jesus like we've got in every city in America. This is just to do good work locally.
Well, there you have it, folks. Church done the liberal way. Beer and baby murder. Sounds like God's light is really upon you. Either that or it's hellfire. I'm not really sure. Please give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all soon. Peace.